You're sitting there going, what does that mean? It means something. So let me tell you the story at the time Glenda saved Christmas. So Glenda owned a company called Bomb Bomb, which was organic lip balm. And it was December 17th. And every single company had closed, basically. And we had no money for Christmas. Me, Dan, and Tristan, and my one member of staff when T2 was in its infancy for TV. We had no money. And we're trying to hard close business, but it was too late to get them on TV for Christmas. Everyone wants to do TV next year. Why would they pay you just before Christmas? They all like, we'll talk in the new year. It's impossible to get money out of anyone. And we're trying our best to hard close. If you buy now, you get a special discount on next year. If you buy now, we can get you bulk packages. By the time it gets to New Year, you can hit the ground running. We can already have your advertising standards agency paperwork done. Every trick we can think of. Da, 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 da. And eventually, we, through a process of a 3-hour phone call, convinced Glenda, the owner of Bomb Bomb, to pay us half of an invoice of upfront, which gave us like $7,000, which we split up between us, so we had $3,000 each for the week over Christmas. Now, to you, that doesn't make sense. You're like, okay, what's the point of the story? The point of the story is we needed money pronto. So we did everything it took and sat down and thought of every hard close. Advertising Standards Agency hard close, free airtime hard close, creative hard close. Everything we could, and we tried it on everyone. And eventually, what we managed to do was famoose a goose. Does that make sense to you? You have to famoose a goose. Maybe if I didn't famoose that goose, in the new year she would have decided to do something else. A bird in hand is worth 2 in the bush. Money in the bank is money you can spend. Money in the bank is not money you can spend. Famoose the goose. So one of my cam girls had a really big birthday. 2 years ago on her birthday, her cam birthday, it was my birthday, and she'd like have balloons, and it would cost a certain amount to pop a balloon. There's a surprise inside, and she'd have a cake, and she'd drink shots and get drunk and have this big 12-hour show. She made $10,000 in a day on her birthday. For the year after, she started saying to all her customers a couple months in advance, don't forget my birthday. And all her customers would say, okay, I'm saving. And they'd stop tipping her to save money for her birthday. And she'd obviously still talk to them and give them lots of attention because they're saving for her birthday. And I told her, don't do that. What do you mean don't do that? I said, that is a fucking terrible idea. She goes, why? I said, because you're not famoosing the goose. You need to take the money now. You don't need them to save their money. You can save their money. Take their money now. Who cares if they tip you nothing on your birthday? It's just a day. If they've got money now, famoose it. Take it. Oh, but I want a big birthday. I was like, bitch, don't you understand that these dudes are just going to spend the money somewhere else, or change their mind, or tip some other cam girl, or they're going to tip you a amount they saved to your birthday, which is less than the cumulative you would have had anyway if they tipped every day that they're supposed to. She wasn't thinking of how to famoose a goose. She was thinking like most people think about business. Hi Glenda, do you want to do TV? Probably in the new year. Okay, yeah, I'll call you in the new year. That's not famoosing a goose. Hi Glenda, do you want to do TV? Yeah, in the new year. Fantastic. If you want to do TV in the new year, we need to start right now. Immediate need. Right now, it's about, our company's closed, it's about to be Christmas. Exactly. So while everything's down, we're gonna do all the Advertising Standards Agency paperwork. We're gonna make sure that we can hit the ground running. We're gonna make sure that in the new year, we have no delays, because in the new year, there's obviously lots of customers who are sorting out things for their campaigns, and we don't wanna have any kind of delays, we don't wanna miss the window to be successful. When do you wanna be on TV? Ask her, doesn't matter what her answer is. March, April, November, who cares? Yeah, exactly. So we are low on time to get everything ready, because if we miss that window, then we're not going to have a successful campaign. It's my job to make sure your campaign is as successful as possible. So the last thing I want to do is miss that window. So what I think we should start doing is the advertising standard agency's paperwork now. I don't know, I need to speak to my husband. Okay, well, I understand you speak to your husband, and I know it's up and coming to Christmas, etc. What I just need from you is a commitment. If you can give me a commitment so I know that we're definitely gonna go ahead with the campaign, we can start advertising standard agency paperwork. Usually we take 50% up front. If you can pay 30% of the campaign now, then we'll make sure that the paperwork's done in time so it's all submitted before Christmas, so it's the first thing on the pile that gets done when they come back after blah, 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 blah. Famous! Glenda saved Christmas. We literally sat in the office when that bank transfer came and bought a bottle of vodka and drank it, and we're laughing about how Glenda saved Christmas because we had no money, zero, now we had money. Glenda saved Christmas. We got on the phone and famoosed a goose. That cam girl was not trying to famoose. And guess what happened when her birthday came? Guess what happened when her birthday came? Who's always right? Hi, babe. I'm gonna tip you, but I couldn't save as much as I hoped because they were too busy tipping other girls. They were getting your attention for free and spending the tokens they're supposed to be saving on other girls. So they give you a big tip, which is shit compared to the cumulative of all the tips you'd have had anyway. Guess how much she made on her birthday? Guess how much? 6,000. She cried for 3 days. Stupid bitch. Told her. Oh, I just thought they really liked me. You fucking idiot bitch. Famoose the goose. If I didn't famoose Glenda and I called her in the new year, she might be like, oh, well, over Christmas we were watching TV and we decided that it's not for us. Or I was talking to my uncle and my uncle got me drunk and touched my pussy and now I don't want to do TV. Who knows? Who cares? If you don't famoose it, it ain't yours. You need to famoose a goose. You need to famoose a geese. That's a lesson I've written down here. Write it down. So when you're sitting there going, how do I make some money? Where's the goose? Where's the gooses? Where's the geese? Famoose them. Famoose them. Does this make sense to you? As a hustler, it makes sense to me. Get this in your mind. Famoose a goose, famoose a geese. Don't be like my cam girl bitch relying on the future. Don't let Glenda have Christmas with the money in her bank when it should be in your bank. Famoose a goose. Next. This kind of ties into the whole don't get too legal before you get rich. The rules don't make anybody rich. The rules don't make people rich. The rules are to be broken. So I'm going to tell you the story of my biggest ever television deal. And it ties into my business card, it ties into a lot of my lessons. So I'm gonna need my board for this one. This is a good story. My largest ever television advertising deal was how I bought my first Aston Martin. And it was £300,000. With a profit margin of around £100,000 split 3 ways between me, my brother, and a salesman called Gerald. And this was for a company I may not have mentioned yet in this fucking thing. My career in TV was long. In between T2 and Vixels, for a 6-month period, I ran a company called Sindel. Don't ask why. Random name, sounds important. And we sold TV advertising. With our top salesman from T2, when I left T2 and left the company to Dan, which he ran on his own and drove it into the ground, I started another agency with our top salesman who left T2 to come with me and Tristan, and we started Sindel. So, our largest ever TV advertising deal was SkySig. SkySig sold electronic cigarettes. Electronic cigarettes are not allowed on TV. In England, at the time, they were not allowed on TV. But we called them up and told them that we could get them on TV because we're experts at passing the advertising standards agency and that we could guarantee get them on TV. And they were very interested in speaking to us, and we flew to Scotland and we went to the meeting. And I remember when I flew back from Scotland checking my bank balance and I had like £300 to my name. I was broke. Turned up in a nice suit.